All right, we're going to start with word number 1. First step is going to be to find and label the first 2 vowels. Well, I recognize here that I have a vowel team. So I'm going to underline both of those letters together and label it as one vowel sound. The next vowel I have would be this letter right here, but I also recognize that I have a diphthong. Both of those letters together say O. So I'm going to label that as a vowel as well. My next step is to draw a bridge to connect the vowels. So I'm going to draw my bridge to connect the vowels. Next step is to label the consonants on the bridge. Well, I just have one consonant that I'm going to label on my bridge. All right, so I'm going to divide using the pattern. Okay, whenever I have a VCV, my first attempt is always going to be before the consonant. So I'm going to try to divide there. Okay, so divided that way, well, I have a vowel team here. And then, like I said earlier, I have a diphthong here. Okay, so I've labeled my syllable types. Now I'm going to try to read the syllables. See, saw, seesaw. Sounds good to me. We'll move on to the next one. All right, number 2. First step is going to be find and label the first 2 vowels. Here is my first vowel, and here is my second vowel. All right, now I'm going to draw a bridge to connect the vowels. Now I'm going to label the consonants on the bridge. I have 2. All right, now a V, C, C, V pattern. I am going to split right down the middle. Okay, now I would label my syllables, but I've got another vowel out here that I've got to take care of. So I'm going to kind of go back, and now my first, now I need to find and label the next vowel. So I'm going to label that A right there as my vowel. I'm going to draw another bridge to connect my 2 vowels. I'm going to label the consonants on my bridge. Now, I have more than 3, or I have 3 consonants on this bridge. So, I'm going to try to scoop some of them. I'm going to try to scoop the blends. Okay? I could scoop NT as a blend, but I'm going to scoop TR as a blend. So, I've got consonant, consonant. Again, a VCCV pattern. I'm going to split between the 2 consonants. Okay, so now that I've divided using all the patterns, I'm going to go back and I am going to label my syllable types. K, A, N is going to be closed. Now I have C, E together, so it's going to make that soft sound. It's going to say sen, which is closed. All right, now this syllable here, I got to remember, oh, don't want to circle it, but I got to remember that I got this E on the end, and that is a magic E that's making my vowel sound long, okay? So here I have a magic E syllable. All right, so now let's try to read this. Concentrate, concentrate. All right, sounds a little bit odd to me. So I know my syllable division is correct, but what I want to try to do is I think I'd like to try this one as a schwa sound and see how that makes it sound. Concentrate. Concentrate. Sounds good. All right, let's move on to number 3. Okay, let's try word number 3. Step 1 is to find and label the first 2 vowels. Well, here's my first vowel. Now, I would label this as my second vowel, but I recognize OU to be a diphthong. It makes a new sound, and that sound is ow. So I'm going to label that sound as one vowel sound. Okay, so I'm going to draw a bridge to connect my vowels. I'm going to label the consonants on my bridge. Now, I have a VCV pattern. My first attempt with VCV is always going to be before the consonant. So, when I label this before the consonant, I have an open syllable. And then, as I stated earlier, that vowel sound is a new vowel sound, and that's going to make this a diphthong. So, I would have profound. Profound. It's close, but let's see if we can shift some things around and see if we can get it a little bit closer to a regular sounding word. All right, so the next thing I'm going to try is labeling this after the consonant. And when I label it after the consonant, this becomes a closed syllable. This is going to remain a diphthong because of the OU ow sound. So now I have profound. Profound. Still not really there. All right. So open and close didn't work. So our next effort is going to be to change this to a schwa sound and see how that makes it sound. So when I change this to a schwa sound, I have profound. I have profound. Profound. That sounds right. So I think that one's going to be schwa and then diphthong. Okay, word number 4. Step 1 is going to be to find and label the first 2 vowels. Well, there's the first one. There's the second one. Next step, draw a bridge to connect the vowels. All right, now I'm going to label my consonants on the bridge. Just one. All right, now I'm going to divide using the pattern. Well, I have VCV. So my first attempt with VCV is going to be before the consonant. Okay. Now, normally I would go ahead and label my, I am going to go ahead and label my syllable types. This would be open. Okay. But I can't label this because I've got another vowel sound out here. All right. So I'm going to kind of go back and I'm going to find and label the next vowel. I'm going to draw a bridge to connect my vowels. I'm going to label my consonants between the vowels. And now I'm going to divide using the pattern for VCCV. 2 consonants, I'm going to divide right down the middle. Okay, so now this one over here is going to be open. Jess would be closed, and then this is going to be closed also. All right, now let's try to read this. This is open, so this reads majestic. All right, well, majestic, that's not sounding right to me. So let's see. This one we've got VCV. So what we can do is we can try to move this behind the consonant and divide here instead. And that would change this to closed. This is going to remain closed. So now it would be majestic. Majestic. Close again, but something still sounds kind of fishy. So let's go back to this first one that we had. Open and close didn't really work. So let's try it with a schwa sound. All right, so now this would be majestic. Majestic. Yep, that sounds good to me. All right, majestic. Number 5. All right, number 5. Sorry, I need to make sure you can see it. Okay, number 5. All right, now find and label the first 2 vowels. All right, got to remember Y can act as a vowel sometimes. All right, so that's actually going to be my first vowel sound, and because it's paired with this letter here, this is going to say S. It's going to make a soft C sound, but I have a vowel there and a vowel there. Okay, so I'm going to draw a bridge to connect my vowels, label the consonants on the bridge. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and divide this, and I'm going to try it this way first before the consonant for my VCV. All right, now that's going to make this open, and this is not one syllable. I've got another vowel sound out here. My ER. It's going to come together to make the sound, and that is a vowel sound. So I'm going to draw a bridge to connect my vowels, and I have two consonants between them. And when it's VCCV, I divide between the two consonants. Okay, so I have, if I divide this one before the consonant, I'm going to have open, and then this would be closed, and then this is going to be bossy R. So let's read this. This is open, so it'll read cylinder, cylinder. That doesn't sound like any word I'm familiar with. So let's try dividing it after the consonant for my first syllable. That's going to change this to closed. So it's now going to read cylinder, cylinder, cylinder. Sounds kind of funny when I say it that way. Let's try. Let's go back. No, I need to leave this cylinder. I need to leave this as closed, but I want to try. This can't be open. I can't do anything with this because that has to divide there. Let's try this middle sound. Instead of a closed sound, let's try it with I need to get better at writing my schwa sound. Okay, let's try it with a schwa. So this is still going to read cylinder, cylinder, cylinder. Sounds right to me. So I believe this middle one is going to be a schwa sound. All right. My computer keeps turning off, so I can't see if you can see it or not. All right, let's try this last word, number 6. Okay, first thing I notice about this one is this thing on the end here. I have a suffix. Next thing I notice about this one is right here. I have that consonant LE. So that just leaves me with one syllable type at the beginning. Okay, now that means I don't have anything to divide necessarily because I identified my consonant LE here. This looks like a closed syllable to me, but I need to remember that GE is going to make this a soft G sound, and it's going to say J. So gentleness, gentleness. Sounds good to me.